Let me tell you a story about how I, Nathania Grace Mahadevan, decided to embark on a journey, on a quest to find 1,000 lives. That was a bad joke, wasn't it? All jokes aside, I'm still going to tell you a story though. This story is about a man who is probably one of the most successful people on planet Earth. But this story is not about his success in his career, but in life itself. It all started when this man and his wife took a trip to Africa. It was a charity trip. So while they were helping the people in need over there, they noticed something terrible. The water system. This was the water system where the people get their drinking water from, where they bathe from, where they wash their clothes from, and etc. It was so contaminated that people were dying out of it. So the man and his wife decided to help. The man began to read. Note that water purification and sewage system wasn't his expertise. He began to read and read. He began to read all the books he could find about water purification and sewage system. In the end, he created the omniprocessor. The omniprocessor is a machine where it transforms feces into fresh, clean water. By the way, this man's name is Bill Gates. Hello everybody, my name is Nathania Grace Mahadevan, metric ID CB18166, and the title for my persuasive speech is Into the Pages. Have you ever been in a situation where you want to help someone so bad, but you just don't know how? Or you want to give an opinion about something, but you don't really know what to say? Or you just want to sit back and relax, but you don't know how you're going to do that? I have loved reading for most of my life, and prior to this speech, I have done research on the habit of reading and also books that I love. And I want to share with you all the goodies that you get with reading. Reading brings you to a whole different universe. It broadens up your thinking. It helps you project your sense of adventure into different books. But before we start with all the good stuff about reading, I want to tell you about why I chose this topic today. In our daily lives as students, we face difficult situations, stress. Not only students, as working adults, as teachers, as just normal people, we all walk a different life. But particularly as students, we are now out of our parents' guiding eye. When we face a problem, we don't know where to turn to at that particular situation. And every decision we make is made by us and only us. This hikes up our stress and anxiety levels. The second reason is because reading is dying. When I was working in Penang in a kindergarten after my STPM, I noticed that the children were very keen on watching television. The caregivers will usually give a 1-hour break for kids to watch the TV. They were so focused at that time, and it baffles me that none of them want to take a book and read. Even during story time, they're not as focused as they are while watching the television. Studies have showed that the average time span of watching videos on social media and YouTube is 5 to 6 hours per day if television is not included. Isn't it sad that we spend so much time watching TV and videos, but we hardly ever read? All of that aside, I would like to tell you about why reading is amazing. It's the most amazing thing that you ever do, and once you start, you can never stop. One of the factors that reading is amazing is reading strengthens your brain. Reading involves a complex network of circuit and signals in the brain. So the more you read, the more these networks get stronger. A study in 2013 where participants had to read the book Pompeii for 9 days. As tension built in this book, researchers found out that more and more areas of the brain lit up with activity in an MRI scan. This shows that the brain's connectivity increased, especially the somatosensory complex part that responds to physical sensation. The second reason why is reading reduces stress. In 2009, a measure was conducted where they measured the effects of yoga, humor, and reading on the stress level of students. They found out that 30 minutes of reading helped to lower blood pressure, heart rate, and feeling of distress as effectively as yoga and humor. How amazing is that? Another thing is Chicken Soup for the Soul. Have you ever read Chicken Soup for the Soul? Any series? It's an amazing book where it showed various lives of people and all the problems that they face and how they overcome it. It's so motivational that it inspires me in my heart. The third is reading helps alleviate depression. When I was reading Peter Pan, it was an amazing book, by the way. When Peter Pan brought Wendy and her brothers to Neverland, it gave me a sense of freedom, a sense of an escape from my stress. And it was an amazing book that just inspired me to the core. Another thing is non-fiction. When you read non-fiction, you can study symptoms of what you are facing and you get a better understanding of your daily life. Did you know that the UK National Health Service developed Reading Well, a book on prescription program, where medical experts prescribe a book to their patients based on their diagnosis to help them with what they are facing. Imagine this. Have you ever feel like you need an escape or an idea for a thesis? Or you wanted to start planning a healthy lifestyle? Or you wanted to start a new hobby and you wanted to know more about it? Where do you start first? You start to read about it first. Am I right? Imagine this. When you're arguing with someone, let's say it's about a topic that you're not really familiar with, architecture, for example. How are you going to argue with someone if you don't really know about it? And how to know about this? Well, you read about it. I would like to introduce something to you called the GLAD game. This is something that I read in the book called Pollyanna. So, imagine that you are in a situation. Your worst memory. Now you're in this worst memory. So imagine this. And try to think about one thing that you can feel glad about in that memory. Have you done it? That is the game. Finding something to be glad about in the worst situations. I've tried this game and at first I didn't know. I always thought bad memories and bad circumstances were something that is going to haunt me forever, and it brought me down so much. But after I read about this, I found a different approach to this situation, and I've realized that I've come to accept the situation because it shaped me to who I am today. Reading is actually cool. Most of the people think that if you read, you're actually a nerd, but it's not. Reading is for everyone. Everyone finds amazing things. The most popular, the most well-to-known people actually start with reading. Bill Gates and so many others all start with reading. In the words of George R.R. Martin, a reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. A man who never reads never only live once. So let your soul wander through every step that you take while you read. And when you flip through the pages, And when you flip through the pages, you could live 1,000 lives. And that's a wrap. Thank you for being an amazing listener.